This is Coach B from Code 31 Media. Welcome. And we weren't here last week, but we are back. And I have a very special guest in the house today. But before I introduce him, I want to say glory be to God. I had my court case today for workers' comp, and it turned out great. And so the rest of the day is going to be amazing. Also, I covered the African Day Parade on Sunday, and I got to interview the mayor. He said he's the hip-hop mayor, y'all, Eric Adams. Letitia James, Senator Cordell Clare, Vanessa L. Gibson. I got to take a picture with Charles Rangel. And Saturday, I was at SOB's, and I got to meet Bernadette Stanis, who is Thelma from Good Times. And Friday, we had the movie premiere for Self-Destruction, where I have a little role in there that y'all can see on Tubi. So my weekend was great. But now I want to introduce y'all to my very special guest. Introduce yourself, young man.
Andre Leroy Davis, artist extraordinaire. ALJ for the writers out there.
Okay, so young man, as you being my art mentor, I want you to take me back to the beginning when you realized that art was the path that you wanted to take for your life.
So the beginning is having an older brother who was an artist.
Okay.
8 years older than me.
Okay.
So like anybody else, you probably want to be like your older brother,
Yes.
older sister.
Yes.
So I watched him draw. I watched him create, something out of nothing. It'd be
Yes.
a blank piece of paper.
Yes.
Was intrigued by that. Was annoying to him as a younger brother. And tried to follow whatever he could do. And then it actually turned out that I could actually draw.
Okay.
So as a shy kid, finding my voice with drawing, it was just from there and never stopped.
Growing up where?
Growing up, born and raised in Brooklyn.
Okay.
First 10 years of my life in Crown Heights.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely Brooklyn.
So what was can you remember back to what was the first thing you ever drew?
I can't remember the exact first thing, but I always remember elementary days, first, second grade, always drawing Godzilla or Spider-Man.
Okay.
Either way, it was like alternating because I was trying to perfect whatever that was. And then I remember going to school and teaching who would ever want to listen or watch me and trying to teach them how to draw Godzilla and Spider-Man.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that I just remember repetitive.
Okay.
Just doing, yeah.
And then did you go to any like art and design schools and stuff?
Once I got to high school,
Okay.
I went to the High School of Art and Design, as you
Okay.
just threw it out there. Yeah.
Yes, and how was that?
Well, picture this. It's growing up, being an artist, going through elementary school, going to junior high school. You get an award for being the best artist in junior high school, right? Now you're going to a high school in the city where every other artist in Queens, the Bronx, and in their junior high school, they were the best artists. So now we are all together in one high school in Manhattan. That's what it was. It was check your ego at the door because it was one or two motherfuckers who were better than you.
Okay.
So you had to either push it, perfect your skills, and meet them where they were, or get lost in the dust. I chose to push my shit.
Okay. And is there anybody that you went to school with that is now as famous as you are?
I always say this. I'm not famous because people
Okay.
usually don't know who the hell I am.
Okay.
They know my artwork.
Okay.
So on that
Or
level,
as famous as your artwork.
as famous
How
as
about
my
that?
artwork. I would say, yeah. I mean, from my perspective, I mean, in my high school when I was there, and I came to high school at 10th grade.
Okay.
So when I went to art and design 10th grade, you had Fade and Nike from the Shirt
Nice.
Kings. They were seniors.
Okay.
And Nike is my cousin. So
Okay.
2 years older. They were there. My graduating class had Fable from Rocksteady Crew.
Okay.
Had MCT with Mantronics,
Okay.
fresh as the word. I sat
Okay.
next to him in biology class.
All right.
So there were a couple of heads in there. And then, of
Okay.
course, heads came after me, after we
Yes.
graduated. I know Mobb Deep went there, Pharoah
Okay.
Monch. So
Nice.
art and design is unfuckwittable.
So,
What do you
like,
think about
do
it?
you have like alumni? Come back for like alumni events, and you see some of these people.
Well, we just actually had my 40th
Anniversary?
reunion,
Reunion
of my
okay.
graduating class.
Okay.
Probably end of August.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of heads. Some who are still doing art, maybe doing graphic or whatever. So it's always good to see folks. We kind of did it on the regular before the pandemic, and then it was hadn't done it in a minute. And then it was the 40th, so it was good to just see folks.
Okay. So take me after high school. Then where did we go?
After high school, went to the School of Visual Arts College.
Okay.
To continue trying to learn how to be a professional artist.
Okay.
I got to admit, my high school was pretty good on that. They kind of talked to us about contracts, meeting deadlines, or else, don't get paid, don't get called back if they can't count on you. And I remember probably like sophomore year of high school, one of the teachers saying, whatever you do, try your best to always retain ownership of your artwork.
Okay.
And that was something I learned in high school. Moving on to college, they more or less went on and reinforced that. So, we can talk about it now or later, but the fact I kept that in mind. So any and every drawing that I did for the source, I own the artwork.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so after School of Visual Arts, where do we go?
School of Visual Arts, graduated in 87 and attempting to be a professional artist. Hitting the streets, showing different magazines, my portfolio, trying to get work, getting work, becoming a professional, being a freelance artist. Mm-hmm. Probably from 87 to about 89, I was doing work for Discover magazine, Emerge magazine, actually did Hollywood Stars for Playgirl magazine. I drew in there monthly. Okay. And then I came across this fledgling magazine called The Source in 1990.
Okay, before you get to The Source, what magazine turned you down that?
Oh, lots of magazines
would be like, oh my God, we messed up with it.
Oh, they'll never say that.
They'll never say
no. People's egos is good. I told this story recently because I had forgotten all about it. It was all about getting your portfolio together, right? Mm-hmm. Which was 15 of your best images, and you would go to different magazines. You would leave it there for the art directors to look at and check out. And because I love my people, my portfolio out of 15, I put 5 black folks in my portfolio, right? Because it's just what I do. Mm-hmm. And I remember dropping the portfolio off, going to pick it up. Art director came out, which is very rare. So I'm like, I got a job.
Yeah.
And she comes out and she's like, why do you have so many black folks in your portfolio? And I'm thinking to myself, what the heezy?
Right.
So it's like, hey, out of 15, I have 5 black folks, and you got a problem with that. So because I was who I was at the time, I then switched it and had 10 black folks.
Hold on, let me fix that and put 10 in there now.
And just kept at it and started to get work from then. And then the tear sheets too continue to go to other places.
All right, and then now we get to The Source.
When people say to me, how did you get down with The Source? It's like The Source wasn't The Source when I got down with The Source. They were in a room, probably about the size of this. Mm-hmm. They had just come there from Boston, if I remember correctly. They were a newsletter at the start. They were a couple of pages.
Benzino was there from the start?
He wasn't there when I was, in the room, but I got to meet him pretty damn soon. From there, he wasn't Benzino then. He was Ray Dog.
Okay.
Ray Dog from Almighty RSO.
Yes,
back
I remember
then.
that.
What was I saying? So I just went there, met then editor John Schechter.
So you went to Boston?
No, they had moved to
New York.
New York.
Moved here. Okay.
All right, so this was part of the play. When you have a portfolio, you would go to magazine stands, right? Okay. You'd look through the magazine, you had a Code 31 magazine. You look through the magazine, you look for the bylines where the magazine's located, who was the editor-in-chief, who's the art director, what's the phone number, and you would look through that, call them up and say, I have a portfolio I want to bring behind, so you can check out my work, see if they were interested. So I was actually heading home. It's probably 4 in the afternoon after dropping my portfolio off early in the day. Saw a newsstand, saw The Source for the first time, went to a corner phone booth. We old school. Popped my quarter in.
Yes.
And it turned out I was like on Broadway Lafayette waiting to take the D train back to Brooklyn.
Okay.
And it turned out they were like around the corner on Broadway.
Okay.
So John Schechter's like, come on over.
Yes.
I went over with my portfolio.
Yes.
Showed him my work.
Yes.
He said, I always wanted to add an element of art to the magazine. So I'm like, cool. He's like, can you have an illustration for us with Eazy-E and the FBI in like 2 days? I was like, all right, let me sketch that. Sketched out the idea. Went home, knocked it out, brought it in. There it was. I thought that was it. Called me back the next month. 16 years later. And there we are.
Wait, 16 years later?
Yeah. So from that August 1990, I did every issue of the
16
Source.
years.
16
for
years
16
later.
years, okay.
16 years later, every issue.
No, I thought you was like, they waited and see. I'm like, hey, 16 years.
I'm good, but I ain't that good. Okay. You gonna be waiting for 16 years for a drawing, yeah.
So what was besides that Eazy-E one, what was the very first one that you saw in the back of the magazine, like, yo, this is my work?
Well, it was the Eazy-E one.
It was the Eazy-E.
I drew it in August of 1990, and it came out in September of 1990. KRS-One cover.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't that enthused that it was out because I was already doing other stuff. What kept me enthused was I had been doing artwork for, Discover magazine, mostly white magazines. So here I am. I get to draw hip hop. I get to draw MCs that I know of. I get to draw black people. So that was the exciting part for me.
So if you had a top 5 of the top 5 hip hop artists that you've drawn in the Source magazine, who would it be?
The top 5 that I've drawn? See, now that's a backhanded question to me asking or answering my favorite 5 MCs, because that's where I would have to go if I'm going to pick the top 5. Okay. So in no order.
No order.
Who I always mention. So, you can check any answers I've given through the years. Chuck D.
Hold on.
Is he? So you get your cover, get your covers ready.
Yeah.
Chuck D. KRS-One. All right. Chubb Rock.
I don't have Chubb Rock. But I did meet Chubb Rock.
That's soon coming.
Okay.
My other Slick Rick.
I do have Slick Rick in here.
Is that?
I don't have him in the mag, but I do have him.
And who would I throw into my 5th? Because I'm like real tough.
I drew Slick Rick before I met him too. With
you
the
did
eye
with the eye patch?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually did. Was working on a children's book with him back in the late 90s. Okay. Yeah, late 90s that never saw the light of day. And who would be my?
Who's the last one?
My 5th. Let's throw Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane?
Yeah.
I met Big Daddy Kane. I didn't put him in my magazine yet. Yeah. But I've met all of those people that you
those would be my 5. Without a gun to my head, those would be my 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you've met all of these.
Actually, no. Remember, during that time period, I didn't go to any Source parties.
Oh, yeah, you didn't.
My whole thing.
Why wouldn't you go?
My whole thing was this. First of all, I knew a lot of people in that whole industry was phony, and I was determined not to be phony. So you don't become phony by not hanging around phony people.
Okay.
After that, the people who weren't phony, I didn't really want to have any of that affect me. Meaning, if I had to do a drawing or feel like it was clowning somebody specific, I didn't want to actually have a friendship where it was going to deter what I was doing. Okay. So I made it a point to just let my artwork speak for me. So I didn't go to all those events.
So on my way here, I went on your YouTube and I saw one of your videos. And you did a cartoon of Benzino with Eminem. And you said that particular cover got you the most hate email.
Well, let's even go back. It was Instant Messenger, AOL.
Yes.
And I did a drawing of, I think it was Benzino in an alleyway, and he was beating up other M&Ms who were like D12.
Yes.
They were supposed to be T12.
Yes.
And then you had the white M&M looking in at them. That got me, because I used to have my email address attached in most of the artwork. So that got me, I would sign on. And immediately all the AOL instant messages was come. Nigga this, we gonna kill you.
Right.
All that type of shit. So it was like probably for like the whole month. It was constant. And me being who I was, after I realized what was going on, I had like my responses on a Word document. I would cut and paste my responses and fuck you, your mama. So I would just come back with, you call me a nigga, you was a peckerwood. You call me whatever, you was a cracker. I was coming back, and then I found it amusing. It was annoying as hell, but I found it amusing that they was that mad at me for a drawing.
So you handled it with laughter and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how I live. Everybody deals with tragedy and whatever their own kind of mode. Mine is sense of humor. The minute I use my sense of humor, I am over. So I make sure I keep my sense of humor.
And like you said you followed your older brother.
Yeah.
Did he continue doing art?
He's still an artist. He
still does it. Because my brother was 8 years older than me too. So I just felt that was ironic that you followed your brother who was 8 years older.
And you are the youngest, right?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
And I'm the youngest of 4.
And my sister was in the middle. She was 5 years older than me.
Okay.
So
it fits. Got a brother 8 years older.
Yes.
Brother 5 years older. Sister 4 years older. And here I am.
It was just crazy. But I thank God that I followed my brother, not my sister, because she was into a lot of wild stuff. So
you learned.
I did
what not to.
But it was funny because with him, he was like, if you gonna hang with me, you gonna do what I do. So I played football for one day until I realized the boys kept trying to give me the football to tackle me. And I don't watch football to this day because of that.
Ulterior motives, yeah.
It's like, nah. So then I did baseball.
Okay.
And it was funny because I was on this team called the Dodgers, and we had ringers on our team. But it was like the best team. Like, I had so much fun. We wasn't winning our games and stuff, but then
you was playing baseball or softball?
Baseball.
Okay.
I played with the boys. I didn't play softball.
Okay.
I played softball in high school at Hillcrest for 1 year because the jerseys and stuff was
fly. Priorities.
That's the only reason why we used to lose every game. But I was like,
that used to be the main reason why certain people love certain football teams, because of their uniforms. It had nothing to do with the players or whatever.
Once I got to basketball, forget about it.
Then it was over.
That was it. My only goal in life was to be a professional basketball player.
Okay.
So when I got hurt on my job in '96, that was taken away. My mother was like, "Your first gift from God is art." So that's when I did Empty Pockets Apparel. And back then they didn't, everybody was ashamed to say I got empty pockets. Now it's cool, but back then, and then that's when I did Code 31 Apparel, and then that's why we here.
The evolution.
But, I still want to draw, but like with the carpal tunnel on my hands, I'm going to have to like do the wrist splint thing. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to it. And it was great meeting you years ago and stuff and learning from you. And like I said, I'm grateful to God to have you in my life and be my art mentor.
I look at it this way. That was probably a couple of years after I left the Source. And I started teaching. So I would teach any and everywhere where an opportunity arose, just so I could perfect my skills. And I remember you reaching out to me, and, shit aligns. I happen to also be teaching a class in Queens. So when you say using Queens, and I think it probably might have been like Thursdays or Fridays, whatever day worked out.
We
and it just worked out because I was heading home. You was able to meet. We'd stop in the library. And I would show you certain things.
Ralph was the first one to tell me to do Code 31 Media. So it's like everything had just started aligning. So since you've been back in the game, have you met some of these people that you've drawn in the back of the Source?
The difference is now. The difference is this. I don't work for a publication where I have to. I did what I did because I did the drawings and they either picked what they wanted me to do or not. But I had to withhold certain things because it was all about their advertising, whatever. So when I left in 2007, I didn't really draw for a good 4 years. I just dove into just teaching. So I drew a lot because I'm in the classroom drawing, but I didn't draw finished pieces.
Okay.
All right. So the bug came back to me, and in 2011, 2012, I just started drawing again. I tried to self-syndicate myself to all hip-hop DX, and I was doing 2 different drawings of last words a month. Probably around the time I saw It was like a burgeoning beef between Common and Drake.
Okay.
And that shit was hilarious to me. So I started drawing again from there, and then I did a drawing of I think somebody asked me what I thought Jay-Z's Baby and Beyonce would look like. So I did a drawing. I did a drawing of that.
Yes.
And then Mary J. Blige did that commercial for Burger King with the chicken.
Okay.
And I did my take on it and threw her on a bucket of KFC. So the creativity came back.
Has anybody ever confronted you about your drawings?
Yeah, in the early days, yes, definitely. That would be the earlier ones. We were X-Clan, DJ Quick. They used to call and leave messages up at the source.
Really?
So then when I would go up, I would get the messages and that type of thing. So
yeah, but they can't blame you. You were just doing your job.
But you got to remember, we talking about 1990 when nobody made fun of hip hop stars.
Got you.
You know, so I was the first. Actually, because the source became so established that it became like the Bible. So it was different from like maybe Spin or Voice or Rolling Stone making fun of rappers because they knew they were white guys who didn't understand anything about hip hop.
Yeah.
But here was a magazine now, the source, that was nothing but hip hop, and they knew the facts. And this is where now the drawings of them were being made. So yeah, a lot of people weren't happy in the beginning. So yeah.
So would you ever see yourself doing something like that again, but not to make fun of people, but just to have your
it was layers. I mean, it was making fun of people, especially if you said dumb shit. It was talking positively about situations or showing black people in positive light, because that's always my cause. You know, show my brothers and sisters in positive light. But if you do dumb shit, you need to claim it and own it as well.
Yes.
So when I stopped drawing, but I started back in 2012.
Okay.
I more or less just continued doing the same thing. I just put it out myself.
Okay.
I probably got more political with my stuff. 2012 was the Obama-Romney election.
Okay.
So I did a lot of political related last words during that time period. And I would still do them now when I feel like it.
Besides selling your art pieces, would you think about doing your own magazine?
No.
No?
No. Doing your own magazine, as you know, is a whole lot of freaking work.
Yes,
and I'd rather just be drawing.
But you have a whole lot of content. You could just put it out.
Well, that's why I'm putting a book together. Content and what I have would be more for a book as opposed to a magazine.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're going to definitely collaborate on something with Mag, though. But so what's next for you?
What's next for me is
you got the merch, you got the gallery. Tell them about your show at the gallery.
I see. Now I got to make sure I get the address right.
Yes,
you know I'm getting old and the memory every now and then leaves. So we hung what was it, last Friday was the opening. And
yes, I was there.
Thank you. She was there. Yeah, you were in the house.
I was in
so we are hanging right now at the 7 House Gallery.
Okay.
That's 35 Meadow Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We have limited prints because I own all my originals, but I don't sell any of my artwork. Okay. So it's very rare that I actually even do prints. Okay. So we got limited prints where I signed them. Got my stamp on them, so you know they are original. Okay. You have to pay some dough to get them.
Okay.
And then we actually have some apparel that was made specifically for the event. Actually, no, this is mine. This is my stuff.
Okay.
The apparel stuff, is like this 1 of 5.
Okay.
1 of 5 hoodies, 5 different ones, t-shirts. So once again, those are.
I seen one with DMC on it.
Oh, those are some nice things. It's like, I need to get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we got the prints.
So those are 1 of 1 and it's
1
5
of, actually there's 1 of 5.
Okay.
Let me see. With the hoodies, there are 5 different hoodies.
Okay.
There's 1 of these, but some of them are using silk, some of them are using leather. So there's 1 of these, there's a DMC, there's a DMX, there's a pun, and I forget the other one.
That's
but
they can come to the gallery and see it.
You can come to the gallery. Those are 1 of 5.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing. Actually, the first time I saw them was the opening night.
Okay.
I knew the designer and the creator, what he was doing, and I trusted him to do whatever. Okay. And when I came and saw him, I was like, I want one of these.
How much for those that you have on right there?
This, I want you to get the high end stuff. So
but if they can't make it to the gallery to get the high end stuff,
then reach out to me after Friday, and I'll give you a lower price.
Yeah.
on these joints.
Okay.
But yeah, as you said, the material and how it looks, they were fly. So
Yes.
we got some high-end T-shirts where I think they might be 50, 70.
Okay.
That type of joint.
Okay.
And the hoodies that I said are like 105. So if you get the 105, I think you're paying a couple of hundreds.
Okay.
For them. So
I mean, there's people out here balling like that.
Oh,
Look, you people out here balling like that. Y'all go to his art gallery and get that.
That's right. For all y'all who have bitched with me all these years about wanting to own some of my artwork, and now's your chance. No, you got to back it up.
And
now.
what about for the prints?
The prints, actually, let me go into that. I got reached out by Vanderbilt University.
Okay.
To purchase some of my work for their library.
Okay.
And because I don't sell originals, when they asked me about originals, I gave them original prices, which was a couple of $1,000, and they didn't want to spend that. So
of course not.
We came up with a decision where they got limited prints that I made for them.
Okay.
They paid a nice $1 for 8 of them.
Okay.
So the established price now for the prints is what I'm selling at the show.
Okay, so you have to go to the show in order to find out how much you got to pay. Just make sure you bring
exclusive
your Cash App.
Yes, because
your debit card.
Because you gotta look at it this way. I don't do prints, but I did prints, and we got like 1 of 2s and 2 of 2s, and then we actually have the original magazines.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, we got the.
I have.
You got some pictures of them? Okay.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna get off live, and I'm gonna show.
And we actually have certain magazines, original source magazines, where I signed the last word. So what you can purchase is you can buy the limited print and then the actual magazine where the artwork came from, and that's our whole package. So we have a couple of those packages for sale.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
We have him here, as you can see. Right here, is this the camera?
That's
this one or this one?
That is a 101 right there.
That's the KRS-One one.
And those KRS-One fans and hip hop fans, they know the significance of that. He had the hit song for "I'ma Get You Sucker," which was Jack of Spades. So I did KRS-One on the Jack of Spades.
This is him signing.
That's me signing the prints.
Signing the prints right there.
Yeah. So that was
And
people knew everything was legit and up and up.
Eve as well.
So come
guys,
check them out.
y'all need to come check them out. When is this, Friday?
Friday. We are there from 6 to 10. We have an artist talk at 8 o'clock. And for those who are unaware what an artist talk is, that is me in the gallery live being asked questions.
Okay.
Then you get to ask me questions as well if you want like an explanation on certain works. If you are interested in buying them, you will get the breakdown of them.
So this is and Friday is the finale of that art.
Friday is the closing of that show. Closing. Yes.
And then what's next after that?
What's next after that is world domination, hopefully, in some kind of way. I got a couple of things, we trying to tighten up and make them happen, so I can't announce them yet. Okay. Because they aren't confirmed, so I don't want to announce nothing that, But be on the lookout. Definitely close to tightening up a show that'll hang for the whole month of February in 2024.
Okay.
It's for a show I curated called 17, The Revolution Will Be Visualized.
Okay.
And what that was, I curated it originally in 2014. It's right after the George Zimmerman trial.
Okay.
When he got away free. So I was so angry that night, I created the show. It was more or less to honor the kids, 17 years old, who were either killed by the cops or street violence, who haven't been able to live past the age of 17.
Yes.
So I was angry. I was going to sit down and just create 17 angry pieces. And I was like, that don't make no sense. So I reached out to 16 other artists that I really appreciated their work. We each did one piece. The 17 pieces hung in the show, and then it just kind of grew from there. So we've hung in Harlem twice. We hung in Queens at the library with Ralph during the pandemic. We've hung in Times Square. So we've hung a couple of different places, and I am trying to cement a new place in the city for the show to hang for that whole month.
All right. And if you could go back in time and change anything with the knowledge that you have now, would you?
in my brain I would, but then I also know that might fuck up everything else, bad and or good that happens. So I would just have to roll with it and keep life the same.
And pros and cons of somebody that would want to do something similar to what you do.
Pros, you're your own boss. You can create what is in your heart and soul, and if you believe in a higher power above, you are just more or less bringing to life the gift that you were given. Those are the pros, in my opinion. And more pros would be if you are skilled, use all of your skills. If you know, because people like to make you choose one thing to do. But if you are capable and gifted at doing many things, do them. I say as an artist, I can draw, I can paint, I can use the computer and do graphics. I write also. So I make sure to utilize all them gifts.
And you're still teaching, right?
And I am still teaching. Teaching at a high school right now. And I just started teaching at Mount Clair State University. So you can also call me Professor Davis as well. So I'm doing all that. Trying to do it, and people are trying to make me not, but I'm trying to still do all of those.
Yes.
So those are the pros.
Yes.
The cons, you got to deal with bullshit. You deal with bullshit regularly in life. But if you are working hard, getting even the littlest amount of shine, there are people who are jealous of that shine, and though they got a problem with you and you have no problem with them, it flips, and all of a sudden you did something to them. So it's just being careful.
And how do you handle that? Because
I don't deal with them if I don't got to.
No,
we talked about it earlier.
Yes.
All right. So it's an episode of Love and Hip Hop.
Yes.
You don't like somebody in real life. You know what you do? You don't hang with them.
Yes.
I choose not to do that Love and Hip Hop stuff where I go each week where they are and meet with them just to beef and anger.
Right.
You know, I ain't worth all that stress. So.
And what would be the best advice you could give somebody? Let's see. Like, you have your YouTube channel. Are you going to, pursue that more?
I always say I'm going to, and then I don't. I got, a lot of stuff from the past couple of months, actually, that I should be posting. I had a show that opened in Tennessee in July, a couple of days before my birthday, at the National African American Museum of Music.
Yes.
So I got videos of that. I mean, the show's still hanging up until November.
Yes.
And it's got a lot of good press and response. Yeah. And I should be posting those things, but I have not.
Yeah, you definitely need to do more with your YouTube channel, because I was really intrigued by when you were showing your artwork and stuff. And I need to work on my YouTube channel as well.
I think the three things you probably talking about was I only shot them. It was during the pandemic.
Okay.
And I was organizing my artwork. And I remember looking through stuff. I was like, as I'm finding this shit, I should talk about it. So it was just there in the moment. So I only shot 3 of them during that time period, and it just was me talking about the artwork, and what it was about, and whatever. And then I just stopped doing it because I sometimes don't like to hear myself babble and flap my gums, so I stopped doing it.
Do you have people film you at your art galleries and stuff?
At the gallery we were at, I was as you saw, I was there sitting, signing stuff, people coming over, talking to me. But I think other people like you were taking pictures. I was unaware what was going on because I was in the moment and doing it. And I heard that it was filmed. I haven't seen none of the footage yet. I'm supposed to see it probably tomorrow.
I didn't see anybody filming it, but they could have.
Yeah, I mean, because you had the cameras or whatever. But I heard there was. I've seen clips online of people who were.
Yeah, you should get that footage.
Listen, I only found out from you because of the picture you posted that KRS-One's daughter was there. I didn't even meet her.
I took a picture with a young lady that was introduced to me, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Take this picture," and it was her and the young lady. And I'm like, "Why am I taking it?" And she was like, "That's KRS-One."
Yeah,
I said, "Whoa!" And so here I am. This is how I think. I want to stand out from other people. I was like, I'm gonna have her hold up her dad on the cover of my magazine. So that's how I think.
And like I just said to you, she there at my show. I didn't meet her. Yeah. I had no idea she was. No.
Wow.
I had no idea she was there till you posted a picture.
Wow.
So I'm like,
yeah, she was. Because
I was all over that
Yeah.
night, so she didn't come over.
That's crazy. She definitely should have came over to see you.
Yeah,
You had that big picture of her dad and everything.
It would have been cool to meet her for sure.
Yeah, but I'm in contact with the young lady that was with her, so I'm definitely gonna make that happen.
Okay.
I thought she would have approached you.
I would have definitely given her some love for sure.
Yeah, because when I looked, she was like, "That's his daughter." I was like, "Yo, I got to get a picture of her holding the magazine." And when I gave him his magazine, he loved it.
Okay, cool.
So listen, guys, I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all getting an exclusive tonight.
Exclusive.
This is my old pictures of my drawings, because I am. Oh, this is an old picture. This is an old portfolio of my drawings. Can you see it? Okay. So, but I'm gonna get back into drawing.
You got to turn them. Wait. You got to turn them pages slowly so they can absorb as you take.
Basketball, because you know that's what I do. But I'm going to get back into drawing again, guys, because my art mentor, he gave me I
gave her 6 steps to drawing a face, and all that just means is just practicing, and it just becomes natural once you keep doing it.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that also. Like, if somebody wants to get into drawing, like I said,
what age range are we talking about, or does it matter?
Teenager to adults.
Well, all right, I'm gonna give the 2 answers then.
Okay.
If you are a parent of a young kid who can draw, do not push them to draw, because you're gonna probably stop them from drawing. Okay. Any young kid that wants to draw just wants to feel it and let it happen. They don't want to feel that pressure of draw. So you're gonna lose an artist right then and there.
Yeah, nobody ever pressured me. I just love to draw.
Yeah. My mother just put paper there and a pencil and left me alone, and I found the paper. If you get into the teenage years and you are still drawing, let them do and try other things. Meaning, let them try graphic art on a computer, art on a tablet, art with a pencil. Let them experiment.
And have you ever drawn something and then saw somebody in real life that it looked like? Because I've had that.
Really?
Like, people will go into my book and say, "Oh my God, this looks like so and so." And then when I was on a movie set a couple of years ago, this guy named Will, he looked just like a picture I drew, afro and everything. And I gave him the character to use because he was a comedian. And it's weird. Everybody used to always look at my drawing, my portfolio, and say, "This looks like somebody I know."
Well, see, there's 2 levels to that. There is, because if you're drawing from your brain.
I used to draw from some of your stuff in the back of the source. That's what's crazy. So now to have you sitting in front of me is just, like I said, this whole media thing, from watching people on TV to now meeting them and interviewing them and just, having a rapport with them is just.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm gonna flip the question on you because I want to hear what you think.
Okay.
How does it feel? And we're not dropping no names. How does it feel to meet somebody that you always wanted to meet and they turn out to be a dick, in comparison to how does it feel to meet somebody that you always wanted to meet and they turn out to be incredible?
I haven't met. Well, I'm not gonna say I haven't met. Let me think.
Think about both of those. Think about both those questions.
Okay.
Somebody you met is like, "Oh, damn, they are nicer than I even thought they would be," and then the other end.
I can't do the second one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have to do that. But when
no names.
No, when I met KRS-One, he was amazing.
Yes.
He was my very first interview.
Okay.
And I was so nervous that day out there in Brooklyn. It was the 35th hip hop anniversary of Video Music Box.
Okay.
And I just knew he was gonna be like, "No, I don't know." But he actually took 10 to 15 minutes and talked to me. And it just changed the trajectory of me doing media. And from that moment, I was like, you know what? This is something that I want to do, and I will never be messy and drama and none of that. I want everybody to feel as if we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
So KRS-One, I always say, that's why I put him on the cover of my first magazine. Meeting Rakim was amazing.
Okay.
Method Man. Okay, that's my favorite. Okay,
I've seen that a couple of times, so I knew that one.
I didn't get to interview him yet, but yes, when you say that question, he's more amazing than I ever thought he could be. And he's a gentleman, and he took the time to give everybody love at Rock the Bells.
All right, so
where I see other artists.
Yeah. Attitude.
They can't stop. They
Supposed-
can't stop
it's
and talk
supposed to
to
be
you.
there. Yeah.
Like, why would you have that kind of attitude?
So you said KRS, Method Man, and who else?
Rakim.
Okay, so I've never met Rakim, but my experience with KRS is exactly how you said, through the years. I was actually called in to do the artwork for, what's that album? Might have been the Sex and Violence album. So this is years ago. So I met him then. This has been like 10 years in between each time I've met him. And each time he has been consistent with who he is. So that always is appealing to me because, you know, everybody's a human being.
Yeah, there are a few that have mood swings.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
I attribute that to old age.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like don't get caught up in it.
If it's a man, it's old age because they shouldn't be on their period.
Yeah,
with
it's
the
a
mood
man.
swing.
It's
All
men.
right, cool,
It's men.
cool.
But I did. Okay.
No names.
Okay.
No names. No names.
I did have an encounter with somebody
Okay.
recently.
I expect you to because that's part of it.
And
Yeah. It was disappointing.
not really, because
No?
like,
You kinda knew.
you know. See, the thing with me is when you show me your attitude and stuff, it turns me off, and then I don't even want to
Yeah, yeah, I
interview
didn't
you.
bother,
So
yeah.
you're not really hurting me.
Uh-huh.
But what I do is I use that as motivation to show you the next person that I interview. I'm gonna shut it down to where you come back and say, "Yo, I'm ready to interview with you." But I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. That's kind of
So,
like
yeah.
how I would
But I'm
do
gonna
it.
tell you off air who
I'ma-
try
I'ma-
to play me
I'm
like that.
I'm gonna ask you off here who tried to
Because,
play.
like,
So
it's cool.
now let me tell you now my Method Man experience. I think it was like 2016.
Okay.
At the Comic-Con.
Okay.
In New York, and I was on a hip hop and comics panel.
Okay.
So it was
Yes, because he loves
Eric
comics.
Parrish, DMC, me, the then editor in chief at Marvel, an artist named Bill Sinkwitz, and Method Man.
Okay.
And that was the panel.
Okay.
So got to talk to him. He was cool. Everybody on the panel was cool. So that's always a good thing.
Okay.
When you meet people and they are consistently
What
cool.
about DMC? You ever met him at the Comic Con?
I will never say that DMC and I are friends because my definition of friends means I'm at your house, I know your people, whatever.
Yeah.
But we have a definitely strong mutual respect where if he sees me, he's like, "What up, Dre?" or whatever. So yeah, through the years, he actually came up to my high school in 2018 and talked to my kids and was in there and did
Are you gonna do Comic Con again?
Put it this way, I have actually reached out to do Artist Alley at Comic-Con.
Okay.
And they have not accepted me at all.
What?
Nope. No love.
Unreal.
So I don't push, like I said, now I go where I am wanted.
Yes.
If you
Me
don't
too.
want me there,
Yes.
I'm gonna go and enjoy it because I'm a comic head and
Yes.
nerd,
Yes.
but I don't need to go to that.
Yeah. That's how I feel now. Like, cause I wanted to cover Rock the Bells and Yankee Stadium and all that. But I mean, if you don't want me there, then you don't have to have me there.
Yeah.
Cause they would have been all in the magazine. I would have killed my interviews. But if you want to keep, inviting the same people over and over that do absolutely nothing and with their entourage,
You go to the other places.
I'm gonna go where I'm wanted. Like I said,
Yep.
this weekend, I covered Self-Destruction. I'm in that movie. It's on Tubi now. I did the
Congrats.
red carpet,
Congrats.
the interviews for that. Then Saturday, I was at SOB's. Shout out to Eric King for the Golden Era of Hip Hop, Part 9. I got to meet Thelma from Good Times, Schoolie D. Who else was there? Nice and Smooth wasn't there because they said Smooth B had a health issue or something.
Okay.
But
Hopefully he's good.
Brand Nubian was there. Dana Dane was there. I didn't get to meet him, but I
Okay.
met him before.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful night. And then Sunday, I covered the African Day Parade.
Okay.
In Harlem.
In Harlem,
So I got to meet the mayor, interview him again.
You working?
Senator Cordell Clear, Letitia James, Vanessa L. Gibson.
Okay.
I got a picture with Charles Rangel. So
Okay.
it was great. Like I covered the Puerto Rican Day Parade last year. I did the West Indian Day Parade a couple of weeks ago, and I just
Okay.
did this parade. So I'm just building up my parade experience, my political interviews. I'm trying to, like, I don't want to be in a box with just doing hip hop and R&B.
You want to be able to do all the things you want to do.
9/11 Celebrity Gala.
Okay.
With the rock stars, you know.
Where was that at?
That was in the city.
Okay.
I can't remember, but shout out to Fred from the Violators. He connected me with that.
Okay.
And I was able to interview Mario Van Peebles there.
Okay.
So that, and Randy Edelman and Felipe Rose from the Village People.
Some OGs right there.
Yes. And the lead singer from Anthrax, I forgot his name.
I know.
He's amazing.
Okay.
Like, it was an amazing night to just be in a whole new environment of rock stars.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody can't say that they can interview people from the rock era to the hip hop era to political, you know,
You
people.
just keeping yourself open to the opportunities.
Yes, I'm open to, like I said, I don't care if you're the janitor, the water boy. If you have a special story to tell, then I want to interview you. I rest in peace to DJ K Slay. He had a guy on his team called Suits. And he did like 5 of DJ K Slay's albums, and he was like, "You're the first one to ever interview me."
Okay.
So while everybody's running for that main artist, I'm like, okay, who's that? Who's that?
It's the people behind the scenes.
Yes,
yeah,
and security, because
Yep.
you don't know, like, their stories are probably
security knows the real stories.
Yes. So
get that hush money.
Definitely. So, where can they reach you on social media?
Reluctantly, I am out on social media. Instagram, AL Dre Day, ALDREDAY, and then Full Government. So I got 2 Instagram pages.
Okay.
Andre Leroy Davis is the other one, both at. You mentioned YouTube. I'm trying to work on that. So I think my page is, what is my page? Oh, it's either Hip Hop Heads or Renaissance Brother 32. Which one is it?
Let me see.
See, she's doing the research for me.
Let me see.
That's let you know how bad I am that I don't even know the name of it. But I'm working on that.
No, but you. Let me see.
So why you looking?
Name in there, I think, and then it popped up.
Okay. While you looking on Facebook,
I'm
it
on
is
YouTube
The Art of
with you.
Andre Leroy Davis at AL Dre. Yeah. See, now I'm intrigued. I need to know what it is so I can remember it. I think it is Hip Hop Heads. Or that might be my Etsy shop.
Because when I Googled your name.
Actually, you want me to look?
Yeah.
Because I know it's saved on my YouTube. I mean, on my YouTube page, but I just, most people don't walk up to me and be like, "Yo, what's your YouTube page?" Okay. So YouTube page is AL Dre Day. Same thing.
AL Dre Day.
AL Dre Day and the last word. So
Okay, and no Facebook?
Facebook is
your name.
Personal page, my name. Art page is The Art of Andre Leroy Davis, aka AL Dre. So
Okay,
you can
like
find
I
me
said, to recap, you have your last closing of your show this
Closing
Friday.
of the show in Brooklyn, 7th House Gallery. Make sure I said that right.
Yes.
35 Meadow Street in Williamsburg. 6 to 10 on Friday.
Okay.
Come buy some gear.
Yes.
Come buy some prints.
Bring your checkbook. You gotta bring your cash app.
Yes. Bring your
debit card.
Or if you bring a checkbook, bring your mama's checkbook so you got enough dough.
Mama's checkbook.
So you ask me some questions about my process in the art world and whatever. Be around good people because I only want good people showing up to my show.
Yes.
You
did have one person. Let me shut up.
Yeah, be nice. Be nice.
Sometimes 1 or 2 bad apples may slip into the gallery.
They snuck in.
Yeah, they snuck in.
But quality good people. I would have to say the artwork on the walls is kind of fly.
Yes.
And
it's an amazing art gallery
and the
show.
chandelier. When I walked in and seen that chandelier, I was like, "Yo, my shit gonna look good."
Yeah,
blinking off the chandelier.
So you would say keep good people around you.
Keep good people around you. You can have a lot of acquaintances. You don't have to have a lot of friends.
Okay.
Yes. That's the way I look at it.
So how can you differentiate between somebody that's genuinely cool with you or they trying to clout chase?
Well, for me, it's always been a process. I remember probably later in life, as I get older, you don't automatically become my friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have You have to show consistency.
Okay.
In order for me to call you a friend.
Okay.
Like certain people meet somebody and they had a great conversation.
Yes.
And they leave and they be like, yo, that's my friend. Now you just talked to them a fucking
right.
hour. How does you
right.
know that's your person? So this sounds cocky, but if everybody believes it and says it, it's not really cocky. Not everybody should be allowed and be privileged to be your friend. That sounds cocky,
Yeah.
but when you think about it and you go about it that way, everybody at some point is going to show who they are.
Yes, they are.
If they are faking the funk, they're going to be well at covering it. But at some time,
but they're gonna slip, like Tupac said. They're gonna slip one time and show you who they really are.
So everybody, good, bad, has their moments, like we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Everybody can be assholish.
Yes.
It just depends on the funk of the.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you why. 'Cause, I had almost forgot math, but nope. Yeah. I'm going to tell you when we get off here. Yeah. But we definitely have to get back together because we definitely got to feature you in Code 31 Media Magazine. We got to put something together that's going to shock the world.
Yeah. Otherwise, why do it?
Yeah. And what's the last word you want my podcast to know about? Andre Leroy Davis.
One would be come to the show.
Yes.
Keep drawing if you do draw. Don't ever waste a gift. That's directed at other people, but looking at you,
I know.
That's for your
Yes. Definitely got to get back to it.
Get back to it. Yeah, she's better than she thinks. I know that because of while we was drawing in the library, having to be quiet.
Yes,
you were actually doing some things that I didn't expect, and those were years ago. So she's better than she thinks.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of work with the magazine, the podcast, and the this and that, and being disabled, and then a caregiver to my parents. It's a lot.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
You got to find the time.
I am.
Even if you got like a little sketchbook and you just drawing while you talking.
Yeah, because I want to do because I seen on your website that you have the NFTs and all that.
Yeah, I did that when NFTs was hot, and now nobody really gives a damn about them until they go back up.
Okay.
But right now, it's the decline. But now's probably the time to buy some if you believe that stuff is going to go back up.
Yes.
So do that. Support my sister.
Yes.
In Code 31.
Yes.
All right, and all that she's trying to do because she's genuine.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that because some people on social media trying to act like your girl is bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, you just hating.
Just hating, but it's okay. We're going to keep on
that's probably all I got
Listen,
to say.
I appreciate you being my art mentor and my friend, and we're going to shock the world, and I thank you for being on my show.
Yeah, indeed.
And y'all stay tuned. Y'all go to his show on Friday.
Be there on Friday in Brooklyn.
Okay, in Brooklyn from 6 to 10. What's the address?
35 Meadow Street. Is that right? You better than
35 Meadow Street. What is it, 7 houses?
7 House Gallery.
7 House Gallery, y'all. And tune in next week. We'll be back. Well, actually, no, we won't be because hopefully I will be at the Wu-Tang Nas concert next Wednesday. It's going to be at the Barclays. So let's manifest that. I will be covering that. So I'm not going to be here next Wednesday, but I will be here this Saturday. Correct? I mean, not here, but it's here. Okay, it's going to be an S.STREET Media event where I will be doing a special show with S.STREET Media and my family, and I got special guests for that. So y'all tune in this Saturday. You can reach me at Code 31 Media. Interviews on YouTube, Code 31 Media and Code 31 Mag. On Instagram, I'm on TikTok, Code 31 Media. And just stay tuned for the new magazine from Code 31 Media Magazine. It's Coach D and it's Code 31. We signing off. It's Code 31.
So